1,016 feet tall. It comprises of many different things today: a luxury 5-star hotel, private luxury apartments. The top floor is a viewing gallery. If you wish to go to the top, book it up in advance. It's £24. If you turn up on the day, they will charge you £30. Also, if you do turn up on the day, there is no guarantees of getting up there. They do now say it's getting booked up to weeks in advance. As we pass down through the bridge, in front of us is another one. This is the Cannon Street Railway Bridge, and yeah, that's about it really. Other than that, there's no historical interest to this bridge whatsoever. Before we go through the bridge, to the right hand side, here's a very old and historical pub on the banks of the Thames, the Anchor Bankside. Next year, that pub is 400 years old. Over the years, been frequented by many famous people, the likes of Dr. Johnson and Samuel Pepys, two of this country's most famous diarists. It's one of the nicer riverside pubs out of all of them. Once through the bridge, keep looking to the right, there's a small sailing ship in wet dock. This is a replica of Sir Francis Drake's old ship, the Golden Hind. Now, Francis Drake was the first Englishman to navigate the world. So this is a replica built down in Devon about 35 years ago to commemorate Drake's voyage, now moored up as a museum. You pay a small fee, go on there, it's all the history of Sir Francis Drake. In front of us now, the new London Bridge, the 4th London Bridge to span the river at this point. First one erected by the Romans in AD 43, present day bridge erected by McAlpine in 1973. Before we go through the bridge though, look to the right. Coming up, there's a gap between the buildings. In the gap is the lovely Southwark Cathedral. There has been a place of worship over there since the 12th century. It's the second oldest place of worship in the bounds of London. It was over there where a man called John Harvard was baptised, the son of a local tradesman. He went over to America, he founded the Harvard Library, which in turn became a part of the Harvard University in Massachusetts, USA. Once through the bridge and to the left hand side, there's a small gap between the buildings. You only get a quick glimpse. There is a tall stone column with a golden top. This is Sir Christopher Wren's monument to the Great Fire of London of 1666. Built to represent a candle, they do say it was a candle which started the fire in a baker's shop in Pudding Lane. Lay on its end in an easterly direction, it would touch the point of where that baker's shop once stood. Also to the left, the lovely yellow brick building is the old Billingsgate Fish Market. A fish market stood on that site for over 900 years. This was until the late 80s. The tradition was sadly broken and it moved downstream to larger premises in the Docklands area. The building today is a private function hall. The building next door behind the trees is Waterguard House, headquarters of Her Majesty's Customs and Excise. That's where they train those lovely smiling people who rip your bags apart when you get to the airport. Well, unless you're going with EasyJet, of course, you can't afford to take a bag with them. 50 quid for the flight, 200 quid for a bag. To the right hand side is London's very own warship, the HMS Belfast. She was the largest of the light cruisers ever built for the British Royal Navy. She weighs 11,500 tonne. Did see active service during World War II. She last fired her guns in anger at the Korean campaign. Decommissioned from the Navy in the 1970s, brought here by the Imperial War Museum, is now permanently moored up 7 days a week as a museum ship to the public. In front of us now we have the Tower Bridge. Tower Bridge earlier this year celebrated its 120th birthday. A twin suspension and bascule bridge. When I say a bascule bridge, I mean the lowest section of the centre arch can actually raise in two halves like a giant drawbridge. Each one of these weighs over 1,100 tonne and can be raised in under 90 seconds to allow larger shipping in and out the upper pool of London. Tower Bridge was built in the Gothic style to blend in with its surroundings. Coming up on the left, the world famous Tower of London. Been used as many things in its time, including a royal palace, a zoo, a mint, an observatory, most famously a prison and a place of execution. It's over there today where they keep the crown jewels. It's still one of the busiest tourist attractions in the world, and very busy at the moment. Did anyone see the television last night? The Queen and Prince Philip are over there visiting the poppies. Now this is very difficult to see because the tide's quite low, but look up above the pier. As we go past, you'll see the blue sign what says Tower Millennium Pier. Look just behind that. You should just about, that boat gets out of the way, you should just see the top. It looks like a red bush. Well, that's the start of the poppies. 900,000 ceramic poppies are being laid all around the Tower of London. This year is the 100th anniversary of the outbreak of the First World War. They're laying these poppies to commemorate the people who gave their lives. The last one will be laid on Armistice Day on the 11th of November. Now, if you have a return ticket and a bit of time, get off and have a look. It's really, it really is quite impressive. After Armistice Day, they're all being taken down.